Hi, my name is Joe. I am still a fat black belt, and today was a pretty good day. I didn't even have to use my AK, not even once. I also didn't get to use breakfast. I got pulled into work meetings right from the get-go. I made sure to get my son fed because he's here. He really wanted lunch like at 11:30, and we really ate lunch at like 2. It was actually a pretty frustrating work day for a variety of code-related reasons. But so I took him out for lunch to make up for the fact that it was late. Lunch ended up being a lettuce-wrapped cheeseburger from Red Robin, which is just, it's really good, right? And bottomless broccoli. What on earth? The only real trick there for me is that they'll keep bringing me broccoli, but they'll also keep bringing me butter. And the way I do the butter is I kind of do like just a little drizzle kind of thing, and they'll just keep bringing me huge tubs of it, and I kind of end up with like a stack of them around the table. But apart from that, it's piece of cake. The people there are great, so strongly recommend if you're by a good one, right? We've got like 2 in town. One is good, one is complete crap. It's kind of a roll of the dice. It occurred to me that I told my cool sword story the other day and did not show my cool half sword. So this is my cool half sword. There's the chunk that broke off. Can I get that? Yeah, we can get some focus on that. There's the chunk that broke off there. It's super good though for training in the house, right? Because it doesn't hit the ceiling like the other one does. You can tell that I was just doing sword stuff because my sword curriculum is still on the cat tree, which is apparently where I keep it when I train, like a little music stand there. And I just go through, and for the record, I do this with a lot of things, but sword is an art that I'm still learning, right? I'm not that great at it. I'm a blue belt. So I have the curriculum separated by belt levels. And every day that I train sword, which is about 3 days a week at the moment because I need more practice with it, I do white belt curriculum, yellow belt curriculum, orange belt curriculum. I do it all in order. And that helps to really reinforce, what's going on in my head so that I learn these things in order so that later when I am a black belt and I'm expected to teach these things, I'm going to remember the order of events, right? I feel like when I went back to Taekwondo, one of the big drawbacks for me is that I had so much of it in my head from having done it in my childhood, from having done it in my, my young adult life and even my adult life before now, that it was all mushed up, and the only thing I really learned in order was the forms. Everything else I'm like, is this a yellow belt kick? Is this an orange belt hand technique? I legitimately don't know the answer most of the time, and I know this curriculum pretty well, so I think I'm going to start drilling Taekwondo in very much the same way, just to get it into my head, because I want to be a better instructor for stuff like that. Anyway, right before I did a bunch of sword forms, I had dinner. Since I ate out for lunch, dinner ended up being basically the same thing it was yesterday. I cooked up a chicken breast. I cooked it with some cauliflower. That's it. I just seasoned them both up, and it was fine. It wasn't fancy, but it was perfectly delicious, and it was hot, and it was good food, and now I am stuffed because that was a big chicken breast. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. No flaws there. Yesterday ended up closing out pretty well. I did some peanuts and a yasso bar at the end of the night, and I thought, wow, I'm home now. I'm going to sit down and get a bunch of writing done. And then what I did was I sat down and was like, oh no, I'm sleepy. Sleeping in my own bed is not something I'm going to be taking for granted for at least the next few days. Anyway, after that, I did a bunch of sword forms. One thing I'm learning is that I do not know these forms well enough to adapt them. Like the first one, the second one, kind of the third one, yeah. Beyond that, I had a little bit more trouble than I did. The Taekwondo forms I can do on the fly. I can't do the sword forms on the fly. I kind of have to map it out, think about it a little. But it is still an enjoyable experience. Obviously, this isn't a lot of living room, so there's only so much space for me to, shuffle around. Anyway, as far as site stuff goes, the shorts have been performing a lot better than the videos because people like watching shorts and they don't like watching videos. But I don't want to make shorts. So unless I have to, I'm not going to make more. I'm just going to do the recaps like this because this isn't for views, obviously. This is just for me. If people get something out of it, great. If not, also great, because I'm getting something out of it. That's basically all she wrote. One more thing. I want to start talking about knee work, prehab, rehab, whatever you want to call it. I think I have a couple of weak spots in my squat game, and if I don't do some lunges, some Cossack squats, some stuff like that, basically every day, I'm going to get creaky. So I want to start checking in on those, and the one thing I will say is I did them today. Any day I do the sword work, if I actually commit to the stances, that covers that pretty well. But on the days that I don't do that, I guess I'm just going to make a note of like how many squats and lunges and things I did. It's just body weight stuff. It's not heavy. It's not hard. I'm not looking to build muscle here. I have plenty of muscle. You just need to be able to see it. So that's where I am. Catch you later.